Welcome to the call, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mark. I consider it an honor to be your host. Over the next few minutes, we're going to share with you the latest innovation that's empowering people to accumulate massive amounts of Bitcoin. Everything we're about to share with you is absolutely real. It's happening right now, ladies and gentlemen, all without monthly admin fees. So over the next few minutes, you're going to learn about decentralized crowdfunding. You're going to learn about the blockchain and also about Bitcoin. So we're so glad you were able to join us. So you want to pay close attention to the information we're about to share with you. You might want to take out a pen and a piece of paper if this is your first time here. And then immediately following the overview, get in contact with the person who invited you in order to get started. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's begin. So what is QTrex? QTrex is a global peer-to-peer community funding initiative, ladies and gentlemen. It's a way that our participants can get the money they need to accomplish their personal business or charitable projects. And what's so unique about it is that it is built on the Bitcoin blockchain. It's completely decentralized, in other words, not controlled by any entities or companies or governments, ladies and gentlemen, and it is completely transparent. It is built on what we call a smarter Bitcoin program. So let's take a close look in detail. So first of all, when you get involved with QTrex, you now have the ability to accumulate an asset, ladies and gentlemen. If you've been paying attention to the news, you know that Bitcoin has increased in value significantly over the last 2 days. And so, whenever you have something that's increasing in value over time, of course, that's an asset. And we know that Bitcoin back in 2010, you could purchase one coin for less than a third of a penny, ladies and gentlemen. But fast forward now, and of course, it's over $12,000, very close to $13,000 if it hasn't already crossed it today. But when you start talking about fiat currency and the US dollar, for example, that's actually a liability because it decreases in value over time, especially the more that it has been printed. And so since 2010, the value of the dollar has decreased 19 cents to 81 cents. So obviously, we want assets and we do not want liabilities. So now, if you've noticed lately, a lot of the experts are predicting that Bitcoin is going to be in a bull run, and the bull run has actually already started. They're predicting it to go to $20,000 by the end of this year, and many predict it to grow to over $398,000 by the year 2030. So that's an indicator that we absolutely want to accumulate it, ladies and gentlemen, just like the big banks and corporations are doing right now. In fact, here's just a review of what some of the corporations and how much Bitcoin they've purchased over the last few months. So you may have heard about MicroStrategies. They just purchased over 38,000 Bitcoin. That's over $425 million worth of Bitcoin between August and September, ladies and gentlemen. And even recently, Square, which owns Cash App, last week purchased over $50 million worth of Bitcoin. And also Grayscale, which is an investment company, ladies and gentlemen, they have purchased over $4.8 billion worth of cryptocurrency, with Bitcoin being the largest part of their holdings, and they've done that over the last year or two. So when you take a look at Grayscale, ladies and gentlemen, it's important to know who is involved over there. So Grayscale works with institutional investors. An institutional investor is an entity which pools money to purchase securities, real estate property, and other investment assets or originate loans. Institutional gentlemen and organizations with the deep pockets. And if they are purchasing Bitcoin at this level, perhaps that's an indication of something that the middle class should be doing as well. And Bitcoin is going mainstream. I don't know if you realize, but anything you can purchase with $1, you can purchase with Bitcoin, including cars. You can travel around the world, computers, ladies and gentlemen. You can even pay your cell phone bill. And if you want it, you can even purchase fried chicken. So it is definitely mainstream. And not only that, you can now purchase Bitcoin over the counter at 20,000 retail locations across the United States, places such as CVS and Rite Aid right now, ladies and gentlemen. And perhaps you have heard yesterday, PayPal just notified the world that they will now allow their customers to buy Bitcoin and also to sell Bitcoin right inside of their system and their websites, ladies and gentlemen. And this is going to give over 325 million customers access to millions of stores to be able to use this Bitcoin and to make purchases. So this is significant when you start talking about the adoption of Bitcoin. And then, of course, there are 10 of Bitcoin ATM machines. In fact, an additional 4,000 new Bitcoin ATM machines have been installed across the United States, doubling the current amount. And you'll find them in major cities, retail stores, pharmacy chains, and airports and other places as well. So it's important to understand the whole idea of a smart contract. You know, traditionally, when we want to do business, we would sign an agreement, have it verified by an attorney, for example, and then have it executed by them. Well, the problem with that is that sometimes you can have human error. So a better way of doing that is to use technology in what we call a smart contract. A smart contract is a computer code that's programmed that when this happens, then that must happen. It takes out the middleman. It makes the process entirely fair, ladies and gentlemen, and it is long-term. So no one can interfere with it, and it'll last as long as the internet and the blockchain exist. So this is simply a better way of doing things in the 21st century. So smart contracts do have pros and cons. The pros are, you know, it's completely transparent. The money transfers member to member or peer to peer. In other words, there's no one ever holding your money at any time, ladies and gentlemen. It's built on the blockchain, which is military grade, you know, encryption. The blockchain is completely transparent and it will last for a very long time. No one can interfere with it or take it over. And it is decentralized. So some of the cons are the fact that depending on the cryptocurrency that's being used, you could have high fees. And traditionally, smart contracts are not developed for Bitcoin. And the last part is these codes are open source. That means that anyone can duplicate these codes and literally become your competition. So when QTrex looked at this, they said, well, you know, we need to get rid of all three of these. And, you know, we understand that we need something better. And that's exactly what QTrex has developed, what we call a smarter program. It's an advanced proprietary technology providing instant peer-to-peer payouts utilizing algorithms of highly advanced crowdfunding infrastructure, ladies and gentlemen, all with no human interference. And so QTrex is not a smart contract, ladies and gentlemen. We are absolutely much, much better. So now, if you've ever been in programs that, you know, disappeared or shut down after a couple of years, well, there's good news. QTrex is built to last for a lifetime, ladies and gentlemen. And since everything is fully transparent and there is no middleman, changing of the code is impossible, and no one can interfere, including the creators, and even hackers will find it impossible. And this is very important because it ensures that this project will continue without interruptions of any sort, ladies and gentlemen, and QTrex is built on a 99-year clock to last much longer than our lifetimes. So this is the world's first fully decentralized massive BTC matrix and mega unilevel system. As we mentioned earlier, it's fully transparent, fully private, it has full automation, and no human interference is possible at all. It's built on the Bitcoin blockchain, which enables us to receive Bitcoin directly and instantly in seconds over and over again, creating unlimited income potential. So let me ask you, who would like to accumulate massive amounts of Bitcoin, especially with the information that we just shared with you concerning the corporations? Absolutely. So let's discuss the opportunity in detail and how you can get started. But before I get into that, I would like to read this disclaimer. This webinar is provided for general information purposes only and does not constitute legal or professional advice. All content shared here is subject to change based on real-time world events affecting the cryptocurrency marketplace, which has shown to be volatile and changes can occur on a day-to-day basis. The information presented here is for purposes of illustration only, and we accept no liability for market changes that are beyond our control. It is the viewer's responsibility, that's you, to keep current with the cryptocurrency marketplace in terms of any changes that could be relevant to one's personal circumstances. QTrex is not an investment platform. QTrex does not and do not sell or market securities. QTrex offers a global platform only with the intention of empowering others regarding the cryptocurrency markets, particularly Bitcoin. Your success depends upon your skills, work effort, and marketplace conditions. QTrex developers and its global affiliates do not guarantee any level of income or your success, and QTrex platform offers an opportunity and compensation plan for the people and by the people. So I want you to remember that term, for the people and by the people. We're going to share with you a few moments from now how that makes QTrex absolutely special, ladies and gentlemen. So now we're talking about unlimited income potential. With QTrex, anyone can join with as little as $50 in Bitcoin and up to $100,000 in Bitcoin. And there is absolutely no cap to your earnings potential. So our super aggressive compensation plan unlocks the doors of nonstop potential and possibilities with absolutely no cap or limitation on how often or how much you can earn direct to your Bitcoin wallet in seconds. So let's take a look at the packages. The great thing, you only have to contribute at these levels one time, but it qualifies you to receive contributions at these levels over and over again, as you're about to see. So of course, the first level is $50, that's Q1, and you can see they increase all the way to Q13, which is $100,000 in Bitcoin. And it's also, you need to know that there is a QTrex annual maintenance fee of only $33 for the entire year. There are no monthly fees. So let's take a look at buying multiple packages. And so when you purchase a package, ladies and gentlemen, you must do them in order. So you can't just skip the packages. You have to literally work your way up. So if you decide that you wanted to participate at Q1 all the way through Q4, then you would need $500 in Bitcoin plus the $33 admin fee, for an example. So now let's talk about how the contributions work, and let's start with the split, ladies and gentlemen. So all entries simultaneously split between the upper queue and the lower queue. So when someone joins, their contribution is paid out half in the upper queue, the other half paid out in the lower queue, and both contributions are paid out at the exact same time. And also, this is going to give you and I the ability to get instant direct payments till infinity for life over and over again. So here's just an illustration to help you understand that at each level, 50% of each contribution is divided and paid out in the upper queue and the lower queue. All right, so let's take a moment to talk about the upper queue. The upper queue is what we call the unit level. In other words, all the people that you personally refer will be direct to you. And you can see the ones that are in blue, those contributions are going directly to you. But the 3rd and the 10th, those contributions actually go to your sponsor. Now, you don't give up the sponsorship, just the contribution. So you might say, well, Mark, I don't really want to pass up any contributions. Well, check this out. The reason you want to pass up contributions, ladies and gentlemen, is so that every person that you personally refer, they will pass up contributions to you. So in this case, you personally referred 10 individuals. That means you'll receive 20 contributions moving forward. So this is exciting because this one method right here, this one technique here can really make you prosper significantly, but we're just getting started. Now, it's important to know that all the Bitcoin in the upper queue, other than the pass-ups, is all yours, regardless of what level you are on. All right, so let me stop right here. What did I just say? Anyone can join us and contribute $50 and pay that $32 admin fee. We're talking about $83 one time out of pocket, and then refer someone else who comes in at any level, and they are pre-qualified to receive a 50% contribution, regardless of the level that they come in at. Okay, let's take a closer look at that. So let's just say the second person, let's say that you come in at Q1, which is the $50 level, right? And you bring someone in who comes in at the $1,000 level. Guess what? You're qualified to receive 50% of that contribution. So in this case, you will receive $500 direct to your wallet instantly. And let's just say that the 5th person who joins you, they come in at the $20,000 level, ladies and gentlemen, or someone that you referred and they upgrade to the $20,000 level later. Guess what? You're already qualified to receive 50% of that contribution. That would be a $10,000 contribution. This is why we say QTrex is for the people and by the people, because it gives the average person who's willing to work to make a way for themselves an opportunity to get a great head start, ladies and gentlemen. Now, keep in mind that you can only benefit in the lower queue from your chosen level packages of participation. And although you can join any and all of the packages, ladies and gentlemen, you must join the packages lower than your desired package in order to qualify to select higher levels in the lower queue. In other words, you can't skip packages. You must work step by step up each one in order, right? So let's take a look at the lower queue. So the lower queue is the 1x3, a 1x3 matrix that repeats itself over and over again. Again, 50% of the contribution is also paid out in this part of the program. So the first person who joins you, that contribution will go to you, as well as the second. And the third is what we call the pass up. You keep the person, but the contribution is passed up to your sponsor. Once that happens, you now cycle and you repeat this 1x3 over and over again. Keep in mind, you can only benefit in the lower queue from your chosen package levels of participation, ladies and gentlemen. So now, the object of upgrading in the lower queue is so you can activate each one of these matrices. For example, the first person, this is going to enable you to receive $25 contributions over and over again. And then, of course, the second, third, fourth, and the fifth will allow you to receive half of those contributions over and over again as well. And so the object is to activate all 13 of these 1x3s, ladies and gentlemen, so you'll be qualified to receive contributions on each one of these moving forward. So now we also have a concept called spill up. So this is what happens when you refer leaders into our community. Of course, this is our leaders launch that we're in right now. And so let's say you go out and you refer Joe. Joe goes out and refers two people in the 1x3. Of course, those contributions are going to go to Joe. But Joe is just getting started. Joe has a lot of influence and followers, and Joe refers the third person. Remember, the third is the pass up. That's going to cause Joe to cycle, but that contribution is going to go to you. So you received two contributions in the 1x3, but you only referred one person. But the person you referred is very active within the community. These are the kind of people that we're looking for, someone who will share their success and invite others to join. And then Joe goes out and refers two more. He receives two more contributions. The third one, that's going to pass up to you. And in this case, that's your third contribution. And your third contribution in your 1x3, that's going to go to your sponsor. So in this example, because you brought in a leader or anyone who's active, ladies and gentlemen, you received multiple contributions, but you only referred one person. Not only did you receive contributions, but your sponsor did as well. This is what we call spill up, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very powerful. Now, you're going to cycle at this point. Joe goes out and brings in three more people. Guess what? He shows up in your 1x3 again. And this repeats itself over and over again. So the question becomes, how many leaders and how many active participants do you want on your team? As many as possible, because you need to understand this. Just as this is happening at this particular level, it could be happening on all the levels potentially at the same time. So imagine if you had 2 Joes or 5 Joes or 10 Joes. Can you imagine what that can do for your funding potential? So now, as I mentioned earlier, both the upper queue and the lower queue operate simultaneously. Let's take a look at that. So now, let's say you go out and, first of all, we're going to say you qualified at the Q7 $1,000 level. Of course, you had to upgrade in the lower queue in order to do that. But now, that means you're qualified to receive 50% in the upper queue and the lower queue. You're qualified to receive 100% of the contribution, ladies and gentlemen, according to the compensation plan. So let's say you go out, you refer your first person. In this case, that would be $500 direct to you. But this same person is also contributing in your lower queue. That's another $500 in the lower queue. Guess what? You just received 100% of the contribution with your first referral. The second person comes in, the same thing. You receive contributions in the upper queue and the lower queue. Again, you just received 100% payout. The third contribution, that's going to pass up in the upper queue, and the third is going to pass up in the lower queue. But the fourth and the fifth, ladies and gentlemen, 100% of those contributions go to you again. Now, when you refer the sixth person in the upper queue, that's going to go to you, and the sixth person in the lower queue, that's the pass up, which causes you to cycle. So this is what you need to know. Most of the time, you receive 100% of the contribution when you're qualified at the appropriate levels in the lower queue, ladies and gentlemen. Most of the time, you're going to get 100% of the money. Every once in a while, you're going to have a pass up, and every once in a while, you'll receive 50%. But very, very lucrative, as you can see. Now, you can also earn from infinite levels in the lower Q, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just say, for example, you came in at Q7, the $1,000 level, and you upgraded through all those levels in the lower Q. So you're qualified to receive 100% contributions in every level up to Q7, right? So let's say you go out, you refer Joe. Joe comes in at $50. All right, in this case, you will receive a $25 contribution. But Joe goes out and refers Jim. Jim also comes in at the $50 level, and Jim refers Sue, who also comes in at the $25 level, but Sue refers Bob. Bob got on the call, and the light bulb went off. So Bob decided, you know, I'm going to give this all I have. I've got some goals and some things, and I'm willing to work for them. So in this case, since Sue is only qualified at Q1, Sue will only receive $25 in the lower Q. In the upper Q, she'll get $500 because she's already qualified there, but she's not qualified here. So instead of getting 100% of the money, she's only going to get 50% of the money plus the 25. And Jim is not qualified either, and neither is Joe. So what happens to that money? That actually passes up to you, ladies and gentlemen, $475 in this example. And this can happen over and over again as you upgrade to these higher levels. When other people are not upgraded for one reason or the other, you would benefit from that. So it's important to know that you can only benefit in the lower Q from your chosen package levels of participation. All right, so what is the overall strategy and what is the overall goal? Race to the top. Your goal, my goal, ladies and gentlemen, is to be qualified on all of these levels so you can potentially receive contributions at all of these levels at the same time. We're talking about life-changing income for you and your family, ladies and gentlemen. And the thing that you can do is when you start receiving contributions, especially from the upper Q, you can use that to recapitalize your position. In other words, upgrade yourself with it so you can be qualified on all the levels and max out the compensation plan. All right, so how do you get started? Well, first thing, you're going to need a Bitcoin wallet. That's so that you can receive your Bitcoin electronically, ladies and gentlemen. And a Bitcoin wallet is very easy to set up. In fact, you can set it up in as little as 5 minutes. All right, so we found the best wallets that work with us is blockchain.com if you live in the United States or UK. And if you live in other countries, you may want to use coinami.com. And I want you to keep in mind that when you create your account, you want to make sure you do it right because you cannot change your wallet address, ladies and gentlemen. So double check it before you put it in there because it is a permanent record. And also, when you open up these wallets, you may have to provide an email address and a password. And they may also provide you with some security words and call them a C phrase. Make sure that you keep track of all that information because you are literally becoming the bank now, ladies and gentlemen, and you have complete control over your money. There is no password reset. There is no customer support for the wallet. So make sure you do it right. If you need to, contact the person who invited you. They can help you with that process. Now, once you have your wallet and everything is good, it's receiving Bitcoin like you're supposed to, the next thing is for you to purchase the Bitcoin so you can activate the program and upgrade to your designed package. All right, so we do have a video that shows you how to do this. Make sure you watch it. GetStartedTraining.com. GetStartedTraining.com is only 10 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. It will make your life a lot easier. Now, you can purchase Bitcoin on the website depending on which state you live in. Some states, they don't have, you need a special license. But other states, there's no problem. And you can use your debit or your Visa or your MasterCard. And you can also use Apple Pay. All right, now to support your success, we hold these webinars 6 days a week, ladies and gentlemen. And we have a live Q&A training every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And we also have our Spanish webinars. You can see the schedule 6 days a week again. And they have their trainings on Saturdays at 2 p.m. Be sure to invite guests. So we are also in the middle of a fall contest. 2 Bitcoin are going to be given away, ladies and gentlemen. We did a 2 Bitcoin giveaway last month. Congratulations to those winners. But this is all about the building of your team. You receive so many points for every person you personally refer, and so many points as they upgrade. All right, and so this can be significant. You absolutely want to get in this race so you can win this free Bitcoin. And we're very excited because this Saturday we'll be releasing our mobile app. So that mobile app is going to enable you to build a list, to communicate people in the most effective way out there, to send people videos and all kinds of information so they can start their learning curve early before they actually even come to a meeting. All right, so I have one final question for you. Are you ready to break your personal best financial record, ladies and gentlemen? If that's the case, you're in the right place. You see what the experts are doing. You understand what's going on within the market, ladies and gentlemen. You understand smart contracts and how simple it is to partner together to do business to change lives. If you like what you saw, definitely contact the person who invited you. They'll walk you through the process, show you how to get started, and we look forward to celebrating your success. So let's make something happen today, ladies and gentlemen, and let's do it together. So with that, that will conclude our call. We'll be back again tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Be sure to invite guests. We look forward to seeing each of you on the calls. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Goodbye for now.